Yay! Before we start the episode, keep in mind the film we're talking about this week, 1977 Japanese classic House. There's a lot of flashing lights in this movie. So if you're planning on watching it before starting hearing us talk about it, and you have issues with epileptic seizures or things of that nature, maybe skip this one. Because luckily for you, we're not even going to attempt to go through the plot of this. So... maybe you can just hang out or, pick another episode to watch. But with that in mind, let's go to the episode. Yay! Welcome to Film Nerds Hour. If our energy seems a little off...
It's because of my computer is a piece of shit that decided to wipe the...
15 minutes we had
15 minutes already that we had, so...
So, we're going to try and capture magic twice.
Thank you, Cortana. You're a great computer.
You're great. Ladies and gentlemen, she did it. She freaking did it. It's perfect. That's a good clap, don't you think? But
I think I'm going to clap this computer. Now.
First things first, the most important thing, happy birthday to me.
Yes.
Yes. I'm 24. It feels kind of like 23. Actually, it feels a lot like 23. But maybe that's only because it's been a day. Ask me in a month, I might feel different. But...
Which, we haven't been polite enough to, introduce ourselves. So that is the wonderful birthday boy, Nathaniel Shoemaker, even though you cannot see us.
Yes, and that is the fantastic, traumatized Nova Sweeto.
I would say more mind-fucked and the also black guy who sounds white. I know. It's crazy, right?
Stop addressing it. Then we won't have any more of those fun times when we bring guests on and they're like, what? But they don't know how to say it until you address it solely.
You can't put a limit on that reaction. It's too great.
I decided to pick this classic because he'd never seen it, and it's been a while since I have seen someone see this movie for the first time, which personally, more entertaining than the movie sometimes.
Fucked, weird, and titties.
It's awesome!
And the only reason I say titties is because the nudity is pretty much the only thing that makes any sense. Now, the element of why there's nudity in this movie doesn't make sense.
Japan.
But you can understand that it's...
Japan.
See, you understand that it's Japan. The nudity just doesn't fit here. But you know that's Japan, so they were like, let's just include nudity because we can.
It amazes me how, we were coming into this, and you've acknowledged Japanese movies comparatively to American movies, very strange. Very strange. But even you weren't prepared.
No, and people kept preparing me for it. I mean, the person that I got this, because I have the Criterion Collection version on Blu-ray, I got from somebody off Facebook Marketplace, and I got it for very, very cheap. Very, very nice. Had a conversation with her, and she said either her boyfriend or her friend she watched it on for a date that they were having and hanging out, and they couldn't make it through the movie because they thought it was too fucking weird. I now understand why. And before he says that it's a work of art, it is something. It is something.
Honestly, it's a work of art. You need to experience it for yourself. It is on HBO Max, which fantastic, awesome. So if you have the means to view it on there, please do.
And then for those of you who want, those of you who want to see how America dumbed it down because they knew America was not going to be able to handle it.
Horrible movie.
I wouldn't call it horrible, but...
You're right. It is better than House 2, the second story, but that's not difficult.
It's got William Catt, and I haven't seen the second story yet.
Oh,
but, well, I already own it, but William Catt is the 1985 horror/comedy movie, so very similar to what this was.
Yeah. I mean,
but in English,
I don't know if you would describe it as a horror comedy. I think you would describe it as a horror, what the hell is happening? Psychedelic trip.
More of a psychedelic frickin' trip than watching Panos Cosmatos' Over the Black Rainbow.
Yeah.
At least for that movie, I was going into it like, okay, this is a very what the fuck movie.
Was it weirder than Mandy?
No, of course it was weirder than Mandy. Mandy is not even on the same intensive level as what the fuck as Over the Black Rainbow.
It's something I want to say to the people who are like, whoa, is it as weird as 2001 The Space Odyssey? The only weird part of that movie is the last few minutes.
And I never made it through that movie, nor do I want to. I literally just have it on my shelf to say I have it.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough, you poser. No, I'm kidding. So, you initially, when I brought up this movie, you were like, oh, we should have a month so we can do that house and then the 2 American house. And I was like, nope. Wouldn't work. Would not work. Because, so, if anyone wants a little backstory on this 1977 classic piece of art, as I refer to it, although I might be a little biased, I have seen this movie over a dozen times.
You don't say.
It's great. It's great, okay? It's as weird as my personality, and I love it so much. So, the film stars mostly amateur actors, and it was produced by Nobukio Obayashi. I hope we're saying that right. Again, this is Americans trying to pronounce Japanese names, so bear with us. We're trying, and I feel like that's what's important, right?
For the most part, yes.
The film is about a schoolgirl traveling with her 6 classmates to her ailing aunt's country home, where they come face to face with supernatural events as the girls are, one by one, devoured by the house. Which, if you think that prepares you, stop kidding yourself.
Literally.
And so here's a little idea to give you folks a backstory of how the hell did this get made, because I guarantee if you've seen it, you're wondering that yourself. And Nate's here to help you out. So, Toho, which you all know at this point from any movie we've talked about ever.
Or most likely, more known as Godzilla's home.
The Godzilla Company. The company that made Godzilla movie and a lot of fantastic Japanese films. They approached Abayasha with the suggestion to make a film like Jaws. Because their idea was, Jaws, this big horror success, with an amateur director at the time, Steven Spielberg, who had full creative control. So they were like, let's do this. And before this, Abayasha, he had directed a lot of commercials. So they were like, that seems amateur enough. I guess. And he developed ideas for a script that was written by Chiyo Katsura. And how he did that was his 6-year-old daughter gave him ideas. Not only for the story, but more specifically, interesting ways for people to die. Think about that when you watch how every death in this movie was thought up by a 6-year-old girl.
Which is fucking horrifying.
And that's gonna be
may we also mention, too.
Yes, please.
The funny thing is that...
I'm boring him. Guys.
The funny thing, also, is that Universal wanted to piggyback on their success of Jaws, too. So the same year, they came out with the movie The Car with James Brolin.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Which, literally, as they said...
to the car.
Which, literally, as they said, was... And they came up with The Car.
Yeah.
Christine did it better.
It did.
John Carpenter.
After the script was greenlit, the film was put on hold for 2 years because they could not find anyone who wanted to direct the movie. So, he promoted the film during that time period until the studio allowed him to direct it himself. It was a box office hit in Japan, but received negative reviews from critics, and it received a wide release in 2009 and 10 in North America, where it received more favorable reviews. And to give you an idea of maybe just how weird this movie is, based on character name... Am I with you? You dying?
No, I'm still here.
Okay, good. These are the characters' names from this movie. Gorgeous. That's one of the characters' names. Kung Fu. Prof. Fantasy. Mac. Sweet. Melody. Auntie. Kiyasuki Togo. Father. And Ryoko Emma. 2 real names.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, I do enjoy the choice of, like, picking just basic traits that sum up who they are as a person for their name, as opposed to, you know, coming up with, like, Stephanie or Carol or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely.
Because they all They all really do envelop their own traits. Your favorite, Prof, she's very intelligent, very logical thinking.
Yeah, which still short for professor. Just
yeah, you didn't get that until I said it during our last recording session that no one will ever hear.
Yeah, it is. Because I was trying to watch the movie, figure out what the hell was going on.
You were trying to watch the movie. You were talking to your dog, asking for consolemanship. You were like, Penelope, help me. Yep. What is happening?
Penelope started watching the movie, like literally watching the TV screen for a bit,
out
and she
faster than my dad would have.
She just was like, "No, I ain't doing this shit. Whatever."
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's very smart. Fantasy, she makes a lot of stories, which it makes sense later on in the movie why she finds so many of the dead bodies, and no one frickin' believes her for half of it. Because that's her thing. She makes up stories. Melody can play any instrument, which really cool. Me personally, I find that to be a very attractive trait, wouldn't you say?
I do.
Yeah. Sweet, she's very kind. She's cleaning the house of a stranger. Very nice lady. Mac is apparently... She eats a lot all the time. And that's her character trait. To which, something we want to address. We both agreed that we should address this because it's something that bothered us. They constantly make jokes about how she eats a ton and she's round and big. She's maybe a size bigger than all the other girls.
And that's still pushing it.
Yeah. Like, she's got, she's got more in the face than any of the other girls, no question. But she's not, even remotely large. At least, from our perspective, I didn't see that she was any bigger than any of the other girls.
No, maybe a little bit of putting in her face, but that's about it.
No. Kung Fu, my favorite character, because every time she does martial arts, it plays that music. And it's just like, it just makes that weird super cuts. And the first time it happened where chandelier things were falling and she hit them so that they hit a wall and not her, you were like, what is happening?
This movie made me wish that they put the Bloodhound music from the trailer for that with that violin quartet.
Yeah. Oh,
I really wish they would have just put that in this movie.
Sleeping bag wrestling.
Yes, because that
yeah, I admit, weirder than sleeping bag wrestling. Everything that has happened in this movie.
No, and you know what? I don't even know.
If we ever have a sleepover, we have to do that. We have to sleeping bag wrestle.
No.
Do you not know how that works?
You
make yourself a worm and then you tackle each other.
Yeah, no, no. There's just there's something not right about it.
We won't listen to the music.
I don't care. After seeing that, I still don't want to.
It is out of context, very strange, and broke you almost as much as this movie did. And gorgeous, she's just pretty.
You know that movie, that scene still hurts my mind.
Oh my God. If you still feel that way about that scene months after seeing that trailer, months, how are you going to feel about this movie in 2 years?
I don't know.
You said it yourself. I don't think I could handle watching this more than once a year. You got to test that theory. You got to watch it once a year, whether it's with me or by yourself. Just so you can maybe learn to appreciate it as much as I do. Next year, we got to watch it with someone who's never seen it so you can experience the joy that I experienced of seeing you lose your mind to this movie. It's so much fun, man. It's such a great movie, man. I don't care what anybody says. This is fantastic.
I just love how out of 31 scores on Rotten Tomatoes, this has 90%. An audience with over 2,500 has 80.
Yeah, because it's great.
It's...
Are you in the minority for this? Do you not...
It's something.
Fantastic is the thing.
I mean, I just... Also, she bites her ass.
But she doesn't bite her ass. Mac bites Fantasy's ass. Fantasy, you made it sound like she bites her own ass.
Yeah,
but that's
I know.
Because she becomes decapitated and she pulls her head out of the well.
Which was never described how she became just a severed head.
Because she was eaten by the aunt. The aunt eats unmarried women to de-age herself, and that's why she looked like gorgeous, because they say earlier the aunt looked like her when she was young.
Oh,
Did you not get that that's what it was?
Well, I knew that part. That whole movie confused me.
And no part specifically?
The whole movie confused me.
I loved it so much. I've said it while we were watching the movie, all the girls in that movie, they are queens. They are all put on a pedestal so high in my mind. And I know it's probably just me who feels this way, but I'm fine with that.
I don't think they knew what the fuck was going on.
They didn't give the impression that they did either. But, like it said, they were all amateur actors, and this was kind of their first real thing. For a lot of them, anyway.
I will say that farmer dude, though, he's 88.
Wow. Still doing it. Still alive?
Still kicking it. Yeah.
Oh, good for him. The weird fat watermelon guy, huh?
Yeah, that also to me
his
too,
face he makes when they move the watermelon.
However,
like, what?
The father, who was also a Japanese author, he ended up
he
dying.
Passed, unfortunately.
He died in 2002.
What about the girls? How are they doing?
Let's see here.
They can't be that old because they were playing high schoolers.
Kung Fu is 60.
Yeah, she looks relatively the same. For like the most part, at least in my opinion.
It looks like she actually knows martial arts too.
Probably. Those poses she was doing, it looked real to me.
She was only in one other horror film that was a legit horror film called The Possessed.
Oh yeah.
But also looks like it got very, very shitty ratings.
Well, of course.
Fanta, which I assume means fantasy.
Yep.
She's 61, so she's still alive. She was divorced, it looks like, or her spouse passed.
There's a part of me that really wishes I could meet all these women and thank them.
Melody,
for
she dropped off the face of the planet.
Yeah.
She did Denji Sentai. So, whatever the Power Ranger version of Japan
Super
was.
Sentai.
Yeah. And
Good
that's it.
You know what?
In 1998. But she's dropped off the face of the planet.
Oh, she did the movie where Mega Ranger and... I'll do the English version because our audience will know. Power Rangers in Space fought Power Ranger Turbo.
They really did not name these cast well, because they changed the names for some of them.
Well, I think maybe the original English localization, because Angel.
Yeah,
probably,
I was like,
yeah.
Yeah, her name is Angel. She's 62.
Wow.
And
everyone loving this, us reading the ages of the actresses who were in this movie.
Gary, who I assume is supposed to be Professor, is 65.
Wow. I'm sorry, Prof. Excuse me.
What did I say?
You said Professor. You said the full thing.
She was in the Shogun miniseries too. Shogun.
Cool. So, yeah. I mean, this movie was it's astounding. What's your do you have a favorite death? Because we got some good choices here.
I don't even know. I mean, the most creative to me was the piano.
Yeah, her getting eaten by the piano.
Because that's literally what
awesome.
You thought you were going to see in the Super Mario 64 game.
Yeah, you kept describing it as the Japanese version of the Evil Dead. This movie.
Yes. I don't think Sam Raimi got his inspiration from that, but I'll look it up. But What?
Yeah, did you just stroke out? What happened? I didn't say anything.
I know, that's like, every time I saw that movie and thought of Evil Dead, that was my thought process. Like,
what?
I could have... Did Sam... What? That was pretty much my reaction every time I thought too deeply. And then tried to associate that deep thought with this movie.
The mirror glass fire thing really fucked with you. You were like, did they just cut a picture?
Well, yeah, because I was sitting there like, is that what they're doing? How did
they do that film-wise, is what you're wondering.
Well, no, I was just more taken aback by... I just didn't know how to react to this movie. That's basically what it comes down to.
Yeah, I set you in completely blind. If it helps, I didn't show you the trailer. The trailer makes it look like a normal movie.
I think it kind of had to.
Yeah, to sell. Yeah, probably.
And I'm pretty sure the only reason that Toho didn't take it off the slate is because they're like, fuck.
Yeah.
We actually signed off on this. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did, and it's here. It's here now.
All right. Well, we are going to lose money if we don't put it out there, so let's just hope for the best.
It's an amazing feat, honestly. The fact that it even got made, and like how it got made, the fact that the 6-year-old girl still loves the movie to this day.
Well, of course she would. It came from her mind.
Yeah, essentially.
Her little demented 6-year-old mind.
Don't say demented. We didn't grow up in Japan. Maybe that's just how Japanese children thought in the 70s. Who knows?
I don't know. I mean...
We live in a very PC culture. Minus Reddit. And...
I mean, judging from kaiju stuff like Godzilla, I mean, it wouldn't be too far off. Exactly. The original Godzilla, holy shit, yeah. That was dark.
Have you seen... Freaking... Think of any of the nonsensical, like, one-off episodes of Ultra Q. Okay? No wonder
I know.
Movie got made. Did you see the episode where the kid turned into a money purse?
Yes.
Freaking weird as shit.
And I questioned my sanity as I was watching, going...
It's awesome.
What?
Did you see the episode where the girl gets shrunk?
Not yet. I haven't made it through Ultra Q. I'm only like almost halfway.
You gotta watch. So wait, you've seen all of Neo Ultra Q. You didn't finish Ultra... Okay.
I'm only 4 episodes in Neo Ultra Q.
Oh, okay. You're taking a break from kaiju movies because we've been doing it on the show and it's too much?
Yes. Same with fantasy. That's why I haven't finished Game of Thrones.
Fair enough. Hey, we're getting a lot of superhero stuff right now. So.
That's why I'm binging superhero stuff, because I know that's going to run out, and then I'm going to fuel my fire with mixing too.
Yep. Watch Invincible on Amazon Prime and Falcon and the Winter Soldier on Disney+. Neither of those companies are paying us to say this. We just like both of those shit.
No, and... The shows do not have to be comic book accurate, and for anybody who does go out and watch Invincible with their small little tangent, yes, what is it? Robert Kirkman?
Yep, creator of The Walking Dead.
He's the one who approved everything they did in Invincible. So for all you fanboys out there who are like, oh man,
they changed the story.
Amazon Prime ruined it. No, Robert Kirkman made that decision.
Yeah. Like, that's the thing, man. Like, it's the same with, what is it? I'm trying to think of the show. Lock and Key, written by Joe Hill, Stephen King's son. He made the comic, and then 10 years later he made the show on Netflix. Very different. Very different.
Here's the thing when it comes to comic book adaptations, which we will definitely do a solo episode talk on, that adaptations are a second chance to revive and do something different.
A second chance at a first impression.
Yes, that is what they are meant for. Yeah, they're meant for doing it a different way and taking a new approach for something that you want to change. Still thinking about my first 2 shorts and was like, could have done that better.
Yep.
And I have not watched my short in a pretty long time.
We're okay.
If that's any consolation whatsoever to any of you. So
I mean, yeah, it's just like... Yeah. But back to House.
Yes.
Because, amazing film still, I believe. I feel like I'll probably watch this throughout my entire life. Because I'm only 24, so I got a lot of life left to watch this film.
The dog is awakening.
Yes. Good for her. Speaking of animals, creepy-ass cat in this movie.
Yeah, I'm glad.
With the glowing eyes, the ding. That looked like an effect from Sorceress, did it not?
That's what I was trying to peg it with. I'm like,
you're
the
like, what
noise
does that look
and
like?
everything. I know it from somewhere.
Yeah. The aunt walking into the fridge, and then somehow she's on the banister, and you're like, huh? You were like, what? Bubba. Like you were trying to talk to the cast and tell them something was happening.
Well, I was stuttering through my mind, like, what? Wait, why? How? What?
To you, was it like watching an 1.5 hour long train wreck? Like, it's terrible, but you can't look away.
Pretty much.
but it's a great train wreck.
Let's just say this.
Fantastic.
This movie is god-awfully terrible, but because it's so terrible, it makes it amazing.
No, I just think it's good. I just think it's good.
I just think it's bad because...
It's the idea that it got made in the first place.
It's everything you wouldn't have expected from a movie, and what you would expect to be scary is not scary, and everything that is supposed to not be scary is scary.
Yeah. It's very strange, but I love it.
And therefore, to me, it makes it a terrible horror film.
Are there any?
Because it's so freaking odd, that's what makes it great.
Yeah. Is there any other movie that exists? Is there any other movie that exists where someone is looking for someone else and their response is to come out of the giant clock and ask for toilet paper? And then they just cut to the next scene. No, there isn't.
See, I didn't even follow up on that one. I was like, was she taking a shit?
Shit in the clock?
I thought that was a closet, not a clock.
That cuckoo clock has become a poo-poo clock. Yeah!
Do you see what I work with, people?
Hey, it's my birthday. You're not allowed to say things like that. You gotta admit, there are some amazing shots in this movie. Like when Sweets is dying with the bedding falling on top of her and they're shooting from underneath her with a glass floor. That's amazing.
No, I will give it to them that their shots and the way that they did some of these things were pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. What you don't like is the story.
No, what I don't like is how I can't figure out what the fuck is going on. And that, literally, spoilers for Doom Patrol. What's his name? The metal guy?
Oh, Robot Man.
Yeah, Robot Man. It's literally during that orgy scene where he goes, which I just saw the clip of, haven't made the episode, where the one dude flexes his muscles and everybody starts having an orgasm.
Spoilers for Doom Patrol.
I already said that. And he goes, what the fuck is going on? Because he's the only one who can't feel it.
Right, and then he pretends to feel it to fit in.
Yeah, so... Yeah, literally that was me watching this movie.
Which, okay, I don't understand how he can't feel it.
He's only a brain.
Exactly. Orgasm happens when dopamine is released in the brain. He still has a brain. Wouldn't he still be able to process an orgasm?
He has no tingly feeling down there. He has nothing to connect it to but his brain.
Yeah, if the guy flexing his muscle, if flexing it gives everyone in the vicinity an orgasm, and to a T, really the only thing you need technically to feel an orgasm, quote unquote, is that portion of your brain, and Cliff still has it, he would still feel an orgasm.
I'm going to say three things. A.
They did tests where they connected electrodes to white mice and gave them a button, and every time they pushed it, it simulated an orgasm. They starved to death.
But I'm going to say three things. They had the parts to feel it.
The mice?
Yes. They had sexual organs.
Do you know that? Have you read the study?
Second, we're talking about orgasms on our show, so we're going to continue on to the weird-ass movie.
Right. You're the one who brought it up.
And three...
You're the man talking about Doom Patrol.
And three, you're really trying to apply the physical anatomy logic to Robot Man after watching this movie with me.
You were trying to.
Because this...
Just tell me
the brain is just broken to the movie.
What are you? Okay, so you're telling me you thought it was confusing that at one point they went from a train to a bus?
It made no sense. When did they get off the train? Did we Harry Potter this shit?
Well, I mean, they went into a flashback in photographs. So
that was the other thing. I was trying to figure out what the effect was for that.
Amazing. Was what the effect was.
It was like literally this movie took literally 5 different tones. It went from a romance and sad story and like a Titanic feel to a horror feel.
Coming of age.
What the fucking coming of age?
Marrying someone new.
And then you're getting a new mommy.
Yeah, you thought that dialogue choice was even weird, and it wasn't even like, in retrospect, comparative to everything else, was not that weird. All he says was, "She is going to be your mother now," and you were like, "What?"
Because I'm sitting there like, okay, well, we know nothing about their relationship, and all of a sudden, oh, you're gonna just give your daughter a brand new mom. That's
also, I get it. Okay, I get it. Your mom, you loved your mom. You're in high school. I get why you'd be upset. Your dad hasn't dated anyone in 8 years. Let him have this one.
But it's the approach.
I know. It is the approach of saying this will be your new mommy. She's coming on this trip with us to bond. Blah, 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 blah. He's a bad dad. Can we say that? He's a bad dad.
Yeah, let's get to things
later on in the movie, he's like, we could just go by ourselves.
Yes. And we did have a discussion about one of those characters on another episode that we did. I don't remember which it is.
Oh, that's helpful. Thank you.
That is also a theme in The Lodge. Which, spoiler for that.
I'm trying to think.
In The Lodge, the dad was trying to get the one girl that is the main character, without spoiling it. The one girl that's in there for his children, he tries to get to be their new mom after the tragedy, after she dies. And wants to take her up on the cabin trip with them, and is like, I'm going to marry her out of nowhere.
Weird.
When the kids barely know her. And they're like, after what happened to Mom, this is what you're going to do? So this is the same feeling I got from this. Like,
well, and like
you're going to just, out of nowhere, randomly say...
I think she would be a better mom than he would be a dad, because she's like, oh, I'll go and I'll talk to her myself and convince her to come. Like, she seems like she actually wants to make the effort to be a mom.
I mean, that's kind of the way.
And she even says, like, oh, I don't think you said it right. Like, say, I'm going to marry her. Like, don't say this will be your new mom. I know technically. I know technically, but still.
It's going to drive me
also,
nuts.
we're trying to add logic from the dialogue to this movie. Maybe not try that.
I don't know what movie
the fridge doesn't work, so they decide to lower a watermelon into a well. Okay, this movie doesn't know what it's doing, but that's why I love it.
I mean, I get it that the well's got cold water and everything, so it's like, okay.
But wouldn't that do something to the watermelon? I would think, like maybe make it spoil or something.
I mean, it is rotten water. I mean, it's not fresh, cleaned water, so that's why I was asking. I was like.
Also, they're eating watermelon with a spoon. That's weird.
Well, the aunt was.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Everyone else was eating with their hand. And they were like, where's Mac? Oh, she's probably getting more food. And I'm like, bitches, she is dead. Sorry, I didn't mean to call them bitches. But still. And then her decapitated head flies in the air and bites Fantasy on the butt.
Yeah, that one, I was like, are we trying to go for kinky, or...
It was weird. It was just very weird.
Like, I'm gonna num your butt now.
And you were confused by the fact that after Kung Fu was chopping the wood and then she had to fight the flying wood, that her skirt came off. You were very weirded out by that. To which I will argue, it is easier to fight in what appeared to be bikini bottoms than it is in a giant floppy skirt.
Well, yeah, it's like trying to... What is it? It's like trying to run in my jeans. It just doesn't work. No. I physically can't.
Why do you think I'd rather fight in my Thai fisherman pants than in jeans? You get more movement. Yeah.
A little bit. And I'm pretty sure that's why samurai wear them.
Yeah. Well, they didn't wear these exact kind of pants. They're modeled after that type of pants. But still. Yeah, I mean... Again, she's really my favorite because every time she does anything martial arts related, that music hits and we get 72 different cuts of the same shot very quickly. And it's one of the very much of, what is happening?
Yeah, you want to know what else is happening that made me question what the fuck is happening? Yeah, the best part is when the remix shots.
Yeah. Explain to them what you're talking about, please.
Oh, yeah. We get some of these great shots where it's like all of a sudden somebody gets punched, but all of a sudden it keeps continuing. Then all of a sudden goes back to when the person was being punched. And
the cat!
And then we get this cat remix.
Jumping from the stool and then back off to the stool. And it just keeps going the same beat, but it's going... Meow, meow, meow.
Yeah, it makes no freaking sense.
It's amazing, okay? It's amazing. Well, I mean, what part specifically confused you? Like, just if you had to really narrow it down, was it the teacher?
It was everything.
Was it the teacher in the noodle bar, and there was randomly a chef that was a bear?
It was everything.
How everything? I mean, come on. Was it the guy? The guy yelled, "I prefer bananas." Bananas gets in the car. Bananas, and then next time we see that car, there's just a pile of bananas.
Like I said,
his hat. It's amazing. This movie is great.
Like I said, I need at least a day to process this.
Listen, that's the thing about Japan. Like, from our perspective, they have always been a very strange culture.
Yeah, for those of you who wonder what the little sound clip for that cat thing is.
Okay, stop. We don't want to get sued.
I don't think they can. It's only a portion. You got about 10 seconds, but okay. Yeah, it's...
You're going to be hearing that in your dreams. I'm going to play that. If I ever spend the night at your house, I'm just going to play that right next to your ear. And you're going to be like, fuck, the witch.
Yeah. There's some really weird shots. Like, it literally looks like a comic book at one point when Kung Fu kicks the cat painting.
Yeah.
And it literally looks like they just snipped out her legs.
Yeah, when she gets attacked and eaten by the lampshade.
Yeah, and
Prof gets dragged in by a coffee pot with teeth, and then her clothes incinerate, and you shut up real fast.
I just... What the
Say
fuck?
what you're feeling. Like, okay. And then she died, which you were very bummed out about.
Well, she's also the only character that made sense. Also,
you have a quote of what you said to me while we were watching that movie. The only thing you thought made sense. And maybe don't say it on here.
Yeah. Just
take our word for it.
It was the only thing that apparently had some sort of purpose in the story, but also didn't. And whatever the director was going for...
he went for it, man. He went for it.
He had some interesting ideals.
There's a part where they're, like, super distressed, and Fantasy's freaking out, and she's like, "Don't worry, the teacher, Jojo, will save us." And then she goes, "He will." And then it cuts to him in a colonel uniform on a horse, riding. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, I didn't get that part either. I was like, okay, so we're going for Princess Bride here?
It's amazing. Because it just... You think you know where this movie's going, and then the director reminds you of your place as an audience member. Like, just shut up and watch it. Don't try to think of what's coming next, because you have no idea. 1 minute a person gets decapitated into a well, and the next a person gets eaten by a piano. Okay?
Yeah, which
and their arm flies into the goldfish tank. And the granny eats an arm.
I was literally waiting for this to do like an N64... Like an N64, Super Mario, where it just starts chomping everything.
Yeah. No, it just ate Melody. And then later on you see her superimposed fingers. Just keep playing the piano.
Which at least the piano was...
Also, can we acknowledge most useless character in this whole movie? Fantasy, right?
I guess.
She could have helped Melody. She didn't. She cowered by the fishbowl tank. She freaked out about everything. Like... She's like, gorgeous. And it's like, dude...
You could have done, like, anything.
Yeah. She should have died way before anyone else, in my opinion. Way before. But I guess that kind of drives the plot, her making up stuff a lot. Because they're like, oh, you're just making up stories. So it's like a cry wolf thing on a next level. You know?
Basically, yeah.
I feel like that's maybe why they wrote her character, in general.
I mean, I would assume so.
Maybe.
Because, I mean, it would be kind of symbolic of her name.
Yeah. Well, all their names are very symbolic. And I get the idea that they're probably all just... No, they can't be nicknames, because everyone calls her gorgeous. This movie's just strange, I think. I don't know why I'm trying to put logic to it. It's a house.
It's a 6-year-old girl who made a movie.
Yeah. Made it successfully, I might add. How many ideas have you had for a movie when you were 6 that happened?
My parents were not a director.
Exactly. That's Noah, 2021. My parents were not a director. Say that sentence again, but slower.
Yeah, I know what I said. Neither of my parents were directors.
Yeah, you said we're not a director, singular.
I know.
You're smirking.
I know. I know what I said. And it would be reflectant of this movie.
Reflectant?
I get to say whatever I want after saying
It's my show. I edit it. I can edit this so it just seems like you're crazy and talking to nobody, Nate. Just edit myself out entirely.
We'll make you seem like a real Nicolas Cage.
What if I did that? What if I actually, just went from chair to chair talking to myself the whole time? Like the frickin' guy playing chess in Bug's Life.
I wouldn't know what to tell you.
You never know what to tell me.
What I would say is that I could make this seem like you just watched. I could just add a whole bunch of Nicolas Cage dialogue in here for this podcast, and make it seem you're as crazy as him in Willy's Wonderland.
Yeah, you could. We'd get sued because apparently every video that features Willy's Wonderland in it at all gets taken down for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, that's why Dead Meat. No, we don't work for Dead Meat, or we don't.
We don't consult with them.
Yeah, or Willy Wonderland.
We're not affiliated with them.
We do love Dead Meat. James, you're doing great stuff. Keep it up. But that's why he said, even though he's gotten a bunch of requests, he won't cover it. Because he's not going to cover something and have him and his editors do all that work just for it to get taken down. Which I respect that.
I mean...
You got to pay people, man. At his point in his... I feel like year one of doing that show, when it was just him, yeah, he would have done that. But at this point, he's got 4 editors, and he's got to make sure they get paychecks.
I mean, it's whatever the company wants to do. I mean, they were trying to charge... I think it was $30 just to rent it.
I mean, it just doesn't... For me, personally, it just doesn't make sense to me. Why would you take down a video that's getting you exposure?
Because you're not making money.
What's the saying? Any press is good press.
Pretty much. I mean, it's kind of like
it's the same reason people who Nintendo doesn't charge people to play video games on Switch.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that's why
Twitch. Sorry.
Stuff for these movies that have the Criterion Collection.
Mm-hmm.
Or different movies that are cult classics all have their clips up still.
Yeah.
Because, they want that exposure. They know people honestly, Reanimator, not as strange as House, but it's definitely in a what the fuck factor.
No. Comparing Reanimator to House on a level of weird and strange, that's like comparing...
Night and day.
Yeah, that's like comparing, for our anime fans out there, that's power level wise comparing Krillin to Goku. No contest.
It's over 9,000!
That was Vegeta who said that. But anyway.
I know, but weren't they talking about Goku?
Yes.
Which is honestly probably quite terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, he was so powerful he broke their power level judger. What's going on over here?
My light is having a fun time.
There are parts while we film this where just stuff happens, and it makes me really glad that currently at this state in our show we're only audio. You know what I mean? Because there's some stuff where I know people will be watching this and be like, what the fuck are they thinking?
Or is their house haunted?
Yeah. Is their house haunted? do these guys ever leave this basement? The answer for one of us is, it depends on the day. You need to get food.
Do with that as you will.
Yeah.
But, I mean, what I will say is...
Yeah, I want to hear your thoughts on this.
Because, I mean, well, really, would it matter if you watch clips for it wouldn't matter if you watch clips for...
Talking about this movie or Willy's Wonderland?
Well, no, House. Sorry.
House.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out. It really wouldn't matter if you watch clips for House because it would be out of context.
It's not like it'd give you any clues to what's going on. Watching it while the movie is happening doesn't give you any clues.
You said, too, you mentioned because I love watching YouTube poops for fun because you don't, for somebody who likes this movie, I'm surprised you don't like the senseless nonsense that YouTube's poops pertain from time to time.
Because at least this movie is actually attempting to have a consecutive narrative. YouTube poops is just like... And they have
some of them do have a narrative.
There's moments of this movie that do have respite of not weird. During the last half, none at all. But during that beginning part, it's like kind of weird, and then normal, and then kind of strange, and then normal. Like when they get on the train, it's pretty normal. They're just talking to each other.
That's where it ends, though. As soon as they get into the house, for me, it was like, after that, it was like, okay.
I would love to... You remember seeing Ready Player One, right?
Well, yeah, but which time are you talking? In theaters, or...
No, I'm just talking about the movie in general.
Then, yes.
So, you know how they can go into The Shining, and they have to play the movie The Shining?
Yeah, and the one person's like, is it scary?
If I had to hide keys for my fortune in a video game I made, you are 100% knowing one of the keys is hidden inside House. And you have to beat House to get the key. And that's why no one would ever get the last key. You would have to beat this movie.
Because it has
Actually,
a narrative.
You know what? Honestly, I might want to... I played a woman, so wouldn't I be okay? Wouldn't she just, like, tell me to leave?
Marriage virgin who's not...
Yeah, but I'm a guy.
I don't know how I was trying to word that sentence.
A marriage virgin? A virgin? I can't even talk. Fuck! Unwed.
Unwedded virgin, but that still doesn't sound right.
No. Well, they say... This is literally the dialogue they use, is unmarried virgins. So we'd have to meet both of that criteria? So you'd be safe.
Yeah, I hope I don't get married. I hope I'm not stupid enough to do that.
What? No. Just make him secretly sign a prenup.
I still hope I'm not stupid enough to get married. But that is a venture for another time.
Or be like the guy who owns Amazon and lose half your money and still be the richest person on the planet. You lose so much money from your divorce, which you split half with, that your ex-wife is the 12th richest person on the planet.
Yeah, although that money would probably be gone if that was the case.
I don't know. You don't think you'll ever get married?
I hope not.
Why? I mean, okay, maybe I understand because, your parents were divorced, correct?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of context to it, and like I said, I like the movies and the stuff that I do already.
Sure.
So to have anything, I would have to have somebody who is on that same level as well.
But you still want to have kids.
Yeah, but I'm okay. I'd be okay with a single parent,
Sure.
A lot of, these movies I probably could not watch with my dad, which is unfortunate. They're too weird for his taste, and there was a time. Now... Believe it or not, the only reason I could tolerate and watch stuff such as House and whatnot, and even the American version, because believe it or not, my reaction to that version was very similar to this, but less, because I could follow the narrative. But there was a lot of times that I was just sitting there like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Why did William Cat just do... Why was that there?
There were a lot of times in that movie that you were asking, what the hell? I don't know if there was a time in this movie where you weren't asking that. Because there's random points where they put just filters over the screen where it's like, and everything's pink, and everything's purple, and everything's green.
And bright, somehow comic colored, bright bloop bloopness.
Yeah.
And I was trying to decipher what the hell was going on, and I couldn't, and it was weird. And I'd say on top of that, like, you know, because the reason I can tolerate movies like this is because I used to watch nothing but killer animal sci-fi movies.
Yeah, that was going to be our... Do you remember when we were doing the show and you were like, all this month is creature features, and how that lasted for maybe 2 days?
Well, that'd be different. If we were going to do killer animals, that would be awesome, but that would be too much because it would fry out your brain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I watch them now.
Too much of a good thing is bad.
See, that's why I sit and I'm like, God. Because I have over 200 in my collection. I'm like, I collected all these and love them?
Yeah, exactly. I still say, though, I feel like it's context. Like, I feel like if my idea, and, you know, let us know, fans, if you would want this in the future. This is, again, way, way down the line. If we did live shows and we showed one of those sci-fi movies and then talked about it on stage in front of people, I feel like we could do it for the sake of that because it's different energy. You know, live audience.
I would be fine doing that. I mean,
I would love it.
Stuff you have to experience for yourself.
Oh my gosh, you think I get energy from just saying jokes and not getting any laughter from you? Imagine me saying jokes and getting laughter from a whole auditorium. My energy would be so good.
Yeah, I mean...
Could you do live audience? Would you like to?
I think it would have been fun to do something like that.
Or it would be, rather.
With House. Because,
we can,
there was that one YouTuber, I can't remember their name, that I was kind of telling you about. And watching their reaction without seeing the clips to Martyr. Was because I'm personally probably never gonna watch that movie.
Sure.
It's very.
If it's too far for you, it's probably very bad.
You can't watch it. I can already tell that you can't watch it. So for me, it was kind of like, oh, this is really one of those movies that's like.
Does it confuse you that I hated Society and I still do, but I watch this?
A little bit.
It's different.
The only thing that I find different about Society is that A, it has a narrative, and B, they're subhumanoid creatures that are...
Yeah, body horror is just not for me, man. Then again, this is a movie where a woman gets eaten by a piano.
That was pretty much body horror. Watching the string quartet kind of shred her to pieces.
Oh, the chording in it, yeah.
Yeah, that also, I was like...
The girl getting MS Paint chips of herself off and just being eyes and a mouth with fire.
Yeah, so that's why to me I was like,
see, like,
okay,
that's just weird, like, without a purpose, and I love it. Society had a purpose, you know, and like you could follow it. I love how I can't follow this.
See, that's what made it weird to me.
Great.
I like being able to have some sort of context into the weird shit that I'm seeing, and then if it wants to go very off the rails and make no sense after that, I can at least in my mind see that's
maybe that's the other thing. Because, like, Society, there were bits that made sense, and then it was spurts of very, very strange stuff until the end when it was all nothing but strange stuff. Whereas this, it was strange stuff the whole time.
See, and, like, the American version, 1985 version with William Catt.
Yeah.
He was a war veteran, PTSD, so I could say, okay, well, at least it makes sense. The shit that he sees, it's associated with this PTSD. But also, on top of that, the other thing about it is that some of this shit is just bizarre and out of nowhere because of the nature of the house.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was like, a lot of the stuff, you were like, what the hell?
Was the house in that one haunted or alive, or was there also an aunt witch?
I think it was a mixture of both.
Okay.
I think it was more the house.
Okay.
But I'd have to watch it again. But even that movie had me in a very bizarre place.
There's a movie I saw the retro trailer for. and I know you'd love it, but the Blu-ray copy for it is $100. You're a guru of finding these things, so you can probably find it cheaper. Did you ever see Toys? The 1980s horror movie Toys?
Yeah, that was on Amazon for a while.
Did you did see it? What did you think of it?
Well, I haven't seen it. Yeah, I've seen bits and pieces.
Okay. Does that not seem like something you would love, though?
Yeah. I saw it because I was looking into...
It's not like Silent Night, Deadly Night 4, the toy maker. My God. Ugh.
I haven't even made it that far.
Don't. After you see the second one, where we get the greatest quote ever before killing someone, "Garbage day," just stop there. Just stop there. Trust me.
I'm trying to find the film Toys again, because it's...
No, it's the fifth one. That's it. It's the fifth one is the toy maker.
You said it's the toy maker? Wait, what?
No,
what
Toys is what I'm talking about. I was talking about the fifth Silent Night, Deadly Night for a second.
Are you talking about the one with Robin Williams?
No, not...
It's the horror film, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Look up Toys horror film. Because Toys with Robin Williams is also...
Toys of Terror? Wait, no, that's the newer one that came out.
With Robin Williams is also freaking strange. Because, like, he inherits a toy company from his dad who passed, and then someone tries to get it and make it into a military toy thing, and...
Are you sure it wasn't Dolls?
Dolls, that's what it is, thank you.
Because the only other one is Demonic Toys.
It's Dolls. No, in Toys, LL Cool J is in it, and he wears camouflage, so the whole movie, he just blends into things random as hell. Like, he'll be camouflaged as, like, that couch, and then dialogue will happen, and then he'll stand up.
See.
Or, like, he'll be camouflaged as this wall, and then he'll randomly do this.
Which is like shifting against the wall for those of you who can't see.
Exactly. And he's the same color as the wall, so until he starts moving, you don't notice it. And it is a thing where you watch it for the first time and you're just like, ah!
Yeah, I remember seeing that when I was like 14. It was like, I don't know what the hell is going on.
There's a lot of really great movies. And by great, I mean, you know, like just strange. Like,
they're interesting.
Did you ever see Tammy and the T-Rex?
No, that's on my list though, because it's on Tubi.
Oh, one of Paul Walker's first movies.
Oh, God bless his heart.
Oh, rest in peace, man. Gone too soon. So talented. Not even just in the Fast and the Furious movies. Did you ever see any of his other stuff?
I've seen a couple. I gotta figure out.
I think, what's one?
And also, it looks like I found Dolls for like $30 off one site.
Nice. What's one that I saw of him? Brick Mansions, but that's a movie, just turn off your brain and focus on the action. If you try to follow the plot of that movie, don't. He has another one where he's trying to keep his baby alive during a hurricane and they're in the hospital.
Yeah, I think I have one of his movies on digital. It might be
the one where he time travels. I don't know.
No, but that movie would be Timeline.
Yeah, Timeline.
And I never personally had interest in that. He was in a movie called Monster in the Closet, which looks more like a comedy. Where it's supposed to be horror sci-fi.
There was. Let me see. Are you on like his movies?
At the moment.
Because there's one that's like a crime thriller that you should check out. It'll be more at the top.
Was he in the parody Superfast, or is that movies like it?
No.
Okay, I don't know why it did that now.
There you go. And then movies. That's why.
You're probably thinking of Hours for that one.
Hours, the rain one, yep.
Oh, Joyride is the one I saw him in, because I love Joyride.
What's the other one where he's a gang member? I'm sure this is ready. Oh, wait, you passed it, I think. Go back.
What, Varsity Blues?
No. I'm sure I'll find it. But yeah, I just want to leave you with this.
Unless it's Takers, but...
No. I want to leave you with this. Someone made this art rendering.
Running Scared?
Yeah, Running Scared. That's it. He's got evidence and cops are after him and mafia's after him. I want to leave you with this this dedicated art piece someone made in 2017, 40 years after House came out.
It's neato and looks more sensical than the actual movie.
It's amazing. Because this movie's... Is this movie 45 years old now? 44. 18, 19, 20, 21. Yeah, 44 years old.
Whoa. 44,
yeah. What do you think that is?
See, that I don't get the head. I mean, I'm glad to have it in my collection, but...
Do you want me to send you this GIF?
No. Because out of context, it doesn't make a little sense. And also, rest in peace, this director who died on April 10th.
Of this?
Of this last year.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. But his daughter, who's now 57, is still alive, and also a director herself.
Yeah, good for her. I'm going to send you this, at 2 in the morning.
That's just odd.
Why?
And she's done one movie in 1966, or she was part of it, called Emotion, which is also part of the Criterion Collection, and The Adventures of Kosuke Kenidachi.
Okay. Cool. I'll have to check that stuff out. Hopefully that stuff's on Amazon. Or not Amazon, HBO Max.
That last one was comedy, it looks like.
Oh, okay.
And then she also had a role in producing, is what it looks like, Three Businessmen, the 1998 comedy drama that was also, it was an American film.
Oh, okay. Cool. Well, we're about an hour 3 here.
Which is about...
Yeah, I think we can call this. Because, again, I don't know if there's anything we can say about this movie that we haven't already said. Yeah, other than the fact that I love it. Can I just say that one more time for the record?
I mean, if you guys want to check it out, just go into it with a seizure warning, because it does have some...
Like we said at the top. Yeah, I apologize if I possibly... I don't know if you heard a difference or anything. I apologize if I'm not super on my game for this episode. I am dealing with an inner ear infection. So if I sound different or don't sound as motivated for things or just kind of stopped talking at a point, I apologize.
Besides the obviously horrendous stupidity of my computer.
Yeah, well, we had to deal with some technical issues as well. So, quick rating. Out of 1 to 10, what do you give this movie?
I have to think about it more. It's one of those things that needs to sink in. Like I said, I need like a day to process.
This might be my 12th or 13th viewing of it, and I don't think my score has changed at all. On a scale from 1 to 10, it's an 11. I love this movie.
It's a movie that you need to have a day to toy with in your head and process.
Yeah. Anyone listening to this, if you're listening to this and we are in a relationship in the future, if you don't like this movie, that is a deal breaker. I'm kidding. I'm so kidding.
Also, if you guys really want to check out an American mindfuck of a first movie,
nice.
Feel free to look up Panos Cosmatos' Over the Black Rainbow, which we're definitely doing now.
Oh, perfect. See, okay, and I'm sure that movie is just as weird as House. I'm gonna think it's weirder, probably.
I would say it's weirder. I would say it's much, much weirder.
Awesome. And see, you're excited to watch it.
Well, let's put it this way: Panos Cosmatos does not know what the movie even means or what the plot was, and he directed it.
That should tell you something. Because I'm pretty sure the guy who directed House knew what the movie and the plot was.
So, it's kind of like Tarantino with Pulp Fiction.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't know exactly what the hell is going on or even remember.
Mm-hmm.
He just knows that he made it about two hitmen.
And the word motherfucker is
it
came used up in copious amount.
Which evidently he also used as a platform to get away with saying the N-word multiple times.
Yeah, but we don't need to get political.
No, we do not. But without further ado, that has been our review of House 1977, which I'm sure eventually we will get you the American version, which will be definitely interesting to touch
some point.
on.
Yeah, check it out. Check it out on HBO Max. Any other places you can view it. Maybe order yourself a Criterion copy.
And for those of you who do want to check out Beyond the Black Rainbow before we ever touch on that, for $3.99 you can rent it from YouTube, Google Play Movies, or Vudu. It is worth $3.
There you
go. But be prepared.
It is a
mind fuck. It is not one of those movies that you can go in and go a casual viewing.
Yeah, and it's not like, I know we've said it before, it's not like High Life where it's weird but in an upsetting way
and disgusting. Yeah, it is really just what is happening.
My favorite moment of this movie personally, when she's taking the bath. You don't really see anything, folks. I'm not a perv. But the hair starts to creep up on her. My favorite moment was not seeing that, but was your reaction as of pointing and yelling
that I can't see down there and all the weird hair. I don't do hair stuff in water. So this is
the perfect point to end on that last quote. I don't do hair stuff in water.
I don't do hair in water in horror films. That's not okay. But without further ado, this has been
Film Nerds Hour. You can listen to us on Spotify, Anchor,
and YouTube, which YouTube may be delayed a little bit as it is just currently me doing a lot of the behind the scenes stuff with a little bit of help. I do apologize for that. So we do apologize in advance, but I know that it is definitely easier for a lot of people to view on YouTube.
Yeah, which is something I wanted to say really quick. Because at the time of this video, it's well past this point. But I wanted to give a special thank you to, if you were one of the listeners who helped our review of The Evil Dead get to 1,000. Thank you so much. That meant a lot to me.
It meant a lot to both of us. As well as, now we're, what I checked from a minute ago, from the time we're recording this too, we were at 25 subscribers, and now we are at 26.
Wow. Awesome. Just a little more, and I don't know. Maybe we can understand the frustration that paid YouTube people know.
Maybe eventually. And eventually, then
Noah will lose his mind because it means he has to edit a bunch of swearing out of things. But hey, maybe at that point we can hire somebody.
Oh, at that point, we better have somebody who can make our channel or two.
Yeah. But yeah, again, thank you so much. It means so much to me that, like, something I made, and maybe you get the same feeling too, something that you made where it's just you talking and just being yourself, like, that many people wanted to hear it.
It is nice that you guys are enjoying it, because it's very nice to see that you guys are enjoying what we want to make a dream become a reality. So we do want to thank you for that.
We appreciate you sticking around and keep watching the show, and, like, because the more, and I love how I'm saying this on my birthday episode as well, but just, like, it can't be emphasized how much we love doing this for fun. I would love the idea of doing this as a regular job. I cannot stress that enough, because I hate retail. I hate working retail, because if it's not the customers, it's my bosses.
Nobody likes to work under anybody, and
no.
You know, it's so much more fun to have a job where, I'm sure you've heard Markiplier or anybody else say it, especially if, like, you know, for me, I love making movies.
Yeah.
So it's so much more fun to it's so much more fun to be able to do what you want to do and do it for fun, and not have somebody leaning over your shoulder telling you what you can and cannot do.
It was very wisely said, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. And I feel like if we did this, I would feel that. You know what I mean?
I would. It's how I feel whenever I'm on a movie set, even if it's just a short film. It's the magic of seeing things happen and putting it together that's always so fun.
It's how I feel whenever I'm writing, or whenever I do voice acting stuff, you know?
It's very fun.
But, yeah, guys, thanks so much. Check out the Instagram. I don't know.
Feel free, or the Facebook group. You guys will always be updated.
Feel free to send us questions. Any messages you'd like?
For now, you guys are going to be more informed on what we're up to currently on our Facebook group, which is Nerds Hour, than you are going to be on the Instagram.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's just much easier there, and you guys will know. Same time as always, every video is uploaded on, for our main episodes, everything is uploaded on Wednesday.
For sure 12. On Spotify and Anchor.
Yep, and then
give us some patience with YouTube.
With YouTube, if it's a day behind, if it's more than late than on the day, it's going to be uploaded immediately. Otherwise, besides that, for the rest of you guys, or if it is on YouTube that you're listening, always up at 12. Everything is now scheduled on 12 p.m.
That's gotta feel nice, huh?
Yeah, so.
Yeah, and if you want us on other platforms, let us know. Message us any ideas you have for episodes.
And we will try to make it happen.
Yeah, and hey, even if you just want to insult us, we can just copy the thing and frame them and read your rude comments out loud on the show. And then you can get harassed, and that would be funny.
Also, thank you to our first hater on YouTube.
Yes, thank you for the first person to dislike a video. What video was it?
I believe it was the... let's see. I think it was Kong, and they were mad because they thought it was something else.
Did they comment?
Yeah, but YouTube took it off because it was like a spam thing. They were just like, they just said, fuck you. It literally just said, fuck you.
Wow!
And I was
like,
like...
wanted to frame that.
And I think
that's why you texted me super excited at 2 a.m. We have haters, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah, I'm very.
Oh very God! Excited, so. Yeah, that's not an open invitation to dislike our videos or comment. We're just saying if you are someone who feels the need to, if you do it, we're gonna think it's funny. So maybe don't even do it.
Maybe don't do it because we're gonna call you out, and I don't have the username.
Oh, 100%.
I don't have the username. Otherwise, I would give them great credit for what they did.
Like, I know I've said it before, and I'm sure it's old hat at this point. I've died twice. I really don't give a fuck anymore about anything. That's how I felt when one of my bosses tried to take me off a schedule, and my response was, okay.
It is a very fun time. Yeah. So, thank you all again.
Thank you all. Happy birthday to me. I'm 24. If you got any advice, let us know in the comments below of what I should be doing. Yes. Or what I shouldn't do, I guess.
And, we will see you all in the next video.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
So long, everyone.
All right. Let's go get hammered.